So every morning at 8:50, Adam comes on with his parlays of the day. We had an interesting parlay yesterday. You did 3. You took Serena to win, though.
Yeah, yesterday was a big miss on the Serena call, but whenever you get Serena Williams as an underdog, you got to take it.
It's worth
you gotta
the
take
risk.
you got to take the risk on that.
Right. So what are we looking at today, Adam?
Today we're back to normal. We're gonna take a 5-team parlay.
Okay.
Everything in the world is normal, almost. We're gonna take Milwaukee, even though the last 4 times I've picked Milwaukee, they have let me down. We're going to take Milwaukee to beat the Toronto Raptors straight up. We're going to take the Miami Heat off a back-to-back to beat the Sacramento Kings tonight.
I was shocked the Heat blew that lead last night.
Man.
They were up big.
Well, fun fact, 6 of the last 7 games I've bet on where a team has had a back-to-back, the team has won.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep riding that train until I've been proven wrong.
They were up nearly like 20 yesterday at halftime.
I believe 24, right?
Yeah.
Was the biggest lead.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah. The next game is the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe a finals preview. I don't know, but I'm gonna take the under. It's at 237.
Okay.
Super big number. I don't think it's gonna happen. Kyrie might play tonight, so we'll see about that. And then of course we're gonna move to college basketball. Michigan plays tonight. They play Rutgers. That's a free game.
It's a free game.
That's one of the probably the only free ones on this list is Michigan basketball versus Rutgers.
Yeah,
So,
football didn't fare so well, so let's try basketball.
yeah, we don't need to talk about Michigan football. not relevant at all. And then the last game, we're actually going to do another Big Ten basketball game, Penn State and Ohio State. We're going to take the under. The point total is 146. I'm going to take the under on it.
So how are you coming up with these? Like when you just look at them, you're dissecting. Like what? How do you pull out the games that you want to target?
So I think it's super easy for people, especially new people, just to go on there and see who the favorites are and take them. The way I approach it is you look at the team, how they've performed in their previous games, their head-to-head matchups during the season, how they're faring, the average amount of points they're scoring per game, whether it's a night game, a midday game. There's a lot of research that goes behind it, and the biggest thing is kind of my X decision factor typically is going to be gut decision. I'll look at all the analytics, I'll look at all my pros and cons to taking a bet, and then I'll go like, okay, what am I feeling on this one? And that'll be my decision making.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, how you doing so far this year?
So far,
you're
we're
still up, right?
Yeah, we're up big time. I mean, from day one, we were up 800 on my bookie because of Dawson Knox. So
Dawson Knox,
we got to
the
give a
first
big shout
touchdown,
out,
baby.
Big shout out to Dawson Knox. He put us up big. The last week hasn't been the best, but we hit a nice tennis parlay. Thanks to my boy Fish.
Yeah, the Bucks have been screwing us lately on the parlays, man. The Bucks losing 4 games in a row, potentially 5. Like, Giannis says it's not the end of the world. He's not the one putting his money out there. Damn it, Giannis.
If you go back on Best Bet Michigan, you look at all of our parlays that we have put out, it's typically been the Bucks or the Nets ruining all of our parlays.
Yeah, because they're so tough to predict this year. But yeah, so thank you, Adam. Let's run it down one more time real quick. What are your parlay bets of the day?
Yeah, we're going to do Milwaukee to beat the Toronto Raptors straight up. We're going to have the Heat beating the Sacramento Kings straight up. We're going to have the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets game go under 237 points. Michigan straight up to beat Rutgers, and Penn State versus Ohio State. I'm going to take the under on the point total at 146.
All right. That is your parlay of the day from Mr. Adam. Thank you so much, Adam, for coming on every morning at 8:50 and giving us your bets of the night. And it also adds some intrigue into the games.
Adam with his Bucks is me at the roulette table because I always like going on the outside, red or black, and then I look at the screen, and it's a whole bunch of reds. I'm like, all right, this one's going to hit black. It loses. This one's going to hit black.
Someone who doesn't get enough criticism in the NBA right now is Giannis. He signed that contract way too goddamn early. If I was him, I would have walked into the front office before I signed the contract. I said, listen, motherfuckers, you're going to trade Chris Middleton. You're going to go get me Bradley Beal. I don't care how many first-round picks you have to give up. And you're going to help me build a contender, and then I'll sign a contract.
Yeah, I have a rough time, though, because as much as I bash LeBron for leaving and not staying and building a team and becoming a champion there, I'm not going to knock Giannis for actually manning up and owning it and trying to create a winner where he was drafted.
Okay, but to be fair to Giannis and the Bucks, they've put Lopez, Middleton. They've gotten pieces. They've actually went out and brought in, whether through free agency or through the draft, actual players. LeBron's first run with Cleveland, we can all admit, was a horrible roster. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland, but whether that's because of LeBron or not, or the way he treats his coaches is irrelevant. We're just going to dissect the
regardless,
roster.
he left. Giannis to stay, and that's what I like.
But you like it, but I don't like it for the player. I think he had so much leverage and he tossed it away. I don't.
If you're
I'm
the
not
man,
saying,
be the man.
I'm
It's
not
that
saying he
simple.
has
If you're
to
the
be
He's
man,
a great
be the
leader.
man.
He wants to support him and never winning.
No, I want him to
Awesome.
be the man. I want him, if
Awesome.
you're the man, you got to be the man. You can't go run to be somebody else's man.
Okay, I don't want to talk about LeBron right now. I want to focus on Giannis. Giannis clearly is the one on the team. That's not for debate.
He's the man.
Chris Middleton is not a 2, and that's the issue. And in the NBA, you need a 1 and you need a 2. They both need. You need to have it. There are only 2 teams in the last 25 years that have won without a 1 or 2, and that's been the Pistons in 04 and the Mavericks. That is it.
Yeah.
Dirk was a 1.
Dirk was a
but
1,
there was no 2 on that team.
Jason Terry was lighting it up back then, man.
Not a 2. Not a 2.
See, but it's these stars that make these other players look that great on the court. So you can't take that away. When the ball and the defense is focused on Dirk, obviously there's going to be other weapons. They're NBA players. There's always going to be someone that can hit threes.
Remember we used to knock LeBron for not having jump shot? And then he spent 2 summers not perfecting it, but getting better. Now he has a respectable 3-point jump shot. He has a decent mid-range. I'm not saying he's better than most players in the league
except that shot from the logo the other day. That's straight air ball.
Air ball.
It was a swish, like Corey said, but just the wrong kind of
It's
swish.
all those overtime games. It's wearing on his legs.
But putting in that work in the offseason and developing your game is something Giannis seriously needs to consider.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
no,
got to
he needs
get
a
way
jump
better.
shot.
He needs a jump shot.
Yeah.
That team will never win anything significant if he's going to rely on punishing his body, driving in and getting points at the basket. It's just not going to work.
At the end of the day, I still appreciate Giannis
I
for
do too.
taking the contract, staying there, and trying to build something. I appreciate that a lot more than just chasing a ring.
But he's got to be self-aware enough to say, you know what, I'm going to stay here. I want to deliver a championship to Milwaukee, but I'm not fucking doing it with Chris Middleton. I've tried it for the last 3 years. Shit doesn't work.
Right.